Right. Gunline. What's going on? Fire mission coming down. We got a good one for y'all today. Me and Kowalczyk are joined by our resident hero firefighter movie star, old Marcus from the town of Shy. He's here to give us a quick assessment as well as what's going on out there in the city. Kowalczyk,
what's up, brother?
How you doing,
How you doing, Marcus?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. Hey, yeah, normally it's called the Midweek Memo, but now that we got when Marcus is on, we've changed the name to the Hero Half Hour with Fireman Marcus. So welcome everybody to the Hero Half Hour.
Love it.
Nice.
How you doing out there, Marcus J? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm happy to be on furlough right now. I just started like 2 days ago, so.
Perfect.
Yeah, these motherfuckers never work. That means vacation.
Yeah.
So you getting paid though still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So our furloughs might contradict other people's idea of a furlough. So our furlough is just vacation.
Oh, dale.
So
that
yeah.
works. Good
Counting
shit.
the days. And then
All right. Well,
next.
anyway, well,
It's
we got Marcus back.
Let's go.
Fuck it, man. I don't know. I need some coffee. But anyway, we got Marcus back on here again because we went from one national emergency right into another one. And here he is on the front lines of yet another national emergency. So what we want to know from you, Marcus, what kind of story? You were there at the peak of it. You had a pretty interesting weekend at the firehouse, to say the least, I would think.
Yeah. So we were seeing a lot of the protests and whatnot being done downtown, and we just figured it was just going to be downtown. So Sunday morning, we're just doing our regular thing, check the rig out, get ready for breakfast. Sunday's our breakfast day, and we're doing our regular calls just like everything else. And by the time I want to say like 11 rolled around, we're helping breakfast, doing shit like that.
Right.
Just all these cars storm up and down Michigan Avenue between 115th and 111th Street in Roseland. And that's where like
for people that don't know, that's south side of Chicago. That's far from downtown. Downtown is 0, and so this is 100 and however many blocks south of downtown.
Yeah. So we weren't really expecting much. We weren't expecting anything to really be going down. We're just like, yeah, there's been some crazy shit in the past, and really the city hasn't gone nuts like that in probably about 25 years when the Bulls won the championship.
Right.
So what we thought was like a funeral procession, because it was like just one steady stream of cars going down Michigan Avenue northbound, and we're like, wow, there's a lot of people out right now. Like,
yeah.
Start seeing people starting to walk up and walk through our alleyway. So we start like paying attention, and we look down the alleyway and we just see people running in and out of some of these businesses out of the back door. And we're like, so they're looting now? So they started ripping up all the security gates and starting to loot the stores. And after that, it was just nonstop from like noon until I got off. So, I mean, even after that, we just started going from one fire to still doing our regular calls, like difficulty breathing, shit like that. And
yeah,
so it was pretty crazy. Like, we even decided to go down Michigan Avenue for some of our runs just to kind of see what was going on.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I was driving that day, so I was like right in the front. I'm like, man, I hope nobody runs out in front and fucking throws a rock right in the face.
Speed
So
right.
Rolled up all our windows and just watched the chaos ensued. And there was fucking cops everywhere, and they were just loot, like nothing was going to happen. There was no fucking protest. It was where we were. There was no protest whatsoever. It was all
just looting
and shit. So there was nothing to do with any of the protest. There was no sign, nothing. So that was people just taking advantage of the situation, and I would call them an opportunist, because it's like, who the fuck's gonna get in trouble, you know?
Yeah,
nobody.
I mean,
over there, I didn't see anything crazy. I mean, crazy as far as like people outwardly fighting one another or anything like that.
right.
But So we're like, all right, they know what's going on. They're not stopping anybody. Nothing crazy is happening. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? So we're just like watching this from the rooftop of the firehouse, just like minds are blown.
Wow.
Right. How close is the firehouse to? Are you right there by like a business?
We're right there. I mean, so our firehouse is on 114th.
All right.
And you throw a fucking rock and you hit Michigan from there because it's right
So
on the.
it's right there by a busy business district. Yeah. Right.
So I had to take different routes and shit to get to different fires that we were going to. So yeah, that popped off at about I want to say noon. And there was just one place would get lit up. We'd go there. We'd put it out. And then it got so busy to the point where they weren't even bringing our normal responses. Like one of the last fires we had at night, it was a liquor store.
Yeah.
Looted it like twice. They had security come back and forth trying to like keep people away from it. And then finally they lit it up. So we got there. It was just the engine company that was like maybe 2 blocks away from there. And the chief went there. That never happens because it was just so crazy they couldn't afford to send more units elsewhere.
So what you said, they weren't sending your normal response. What is a normal response to a fire? Like a liquor store's burning, who shows up normally?
You're gonna get 2 engines, 2 trucks, possible squad, a chief. And
squad is
like specialty, like they would be our Navy SEALs, Green Beret types.
High speed motherfuckers.
Yeah, real. Yeah. But they didn't send any of that. It was just an engine and a truck.
It was get it done with what little you can because we're spread thin type of shit.
Oh yeah.
So just to clarify, there was no protest that led to this in that area. It was just motherfuckers that decided to gather together and just start breaking shit and try to steal shit.
Oh yeah. That was just people taking advantage of what was going on all over the city.
God.
There was protests like on the north side, throughout the downtown area. They tried having the protest in Bridgeport where I live.
A video of that.
We'll get to that one. So so I remember you texted me that night. I was, getting some updates here and there, and it seemed like from, like you said, noon. What was your last call? 4 a.m. 4 or 5 a.m.
4, 5 in the morning, something like that.
Fuck. So I mean, it was over 12 hours of just constant shit, huh?
Yeah, I think we went to 7 or 8 fires throughout the day, which is like big fucking numbers. You don't hear any department doing that besides like Detroit on Hell Night or whatever the fuck they call it.
Right. And we talked about this last time. You're already at a fire heavy house, right? They're known for having fire calls.
Yeah.
And old timers that been at this firehouse that's been heavy on fires, they're setting some personal records that night.
Oh yeah. I made more roasts in one day than I'll probably ever make in my entire career on a single day.
Holy shit.
It was just like making a roast means you're putting a hole in it to allow ventilation for the smoke to come up so you can lift the heat off of any possible victim and or firefighter. So it's a coordinated thing.
Right.
But
is that when it's pretty serious when you got to do something like that? Like the fire's going strong?
You do that to a lot of times if it's not a big deal, they'll be like, hold the roof.
Yeah.
So get off the roof. We don't need you. It's not that big of a fire.
Right.
But I think we only got held on like 1 roof, maybe 2, that weren't like that big of a deal. So,
and the rest were like, break that shit open. This one's bad.
Yeah.
What describe the scene for these 8 whatever fires you had to roll up to. Like, what are you fighting off looters? Are they fighting at you? Or they're throwing rocks? Are they throwing bottles? How were you perceived?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
what
did it look like?
By us, it was different than I feel like most other areas, because the night before I had talked to a guy I used to work with prior to transferring to the South Side. He was like, I got called in, and he's detailed to the academy, so he's not doing any firefighting. And they were like, you guys are going to the field to help with these protests. They're starting to light shit up.
So they're taking people. They're taking people out of school. They're taking the teachers and putting them back into the shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that was like the first night, and they weren't sure how things were going to pop off. Like Chicago was unprepared. I mean, it is what it is, but they kind of dealt with it very well that you could with the situation that we were in.
Right.
He said he had to fight with people to keep people from pulling hose off the rig. They're throwing rocks and bottles at him, and he wasn't like doing any of the firefighting. He's an engineer. So as an engineer, you send the water and an engine, and you just make sure the pressure is good.
So you're the engineer. He's trying to watch gauges and make sure everything's flowing right and everything's working right.
Yeah, he said it was a different scene for him than for me, and I think I went to more fires than he did, even though like in the downtown area, like they got a few buildings the first night, but it wasn't really all that nuts. It was Sunday where it really just kind of blew up.
Right. And where was he? Where he was being assaulted and they're trying to fuck with the rig and everything?
I want to say like the heart of downtown. It was like well back, and I think either Adams or yeah, something like that. It was like right downtown.
Downtown skyscrapers, tourists, fucking
So
overpriced fucking trinkets and shit.
Got a quick question to throw myself in here real quick. Kowalczyk sent me a fucking video where it looked like a fucking total war zone out there in the downtown area. They had all the bridges up and shit like that. So I mean, has that calmed down now? Have they reopened any of the city up?
Yeah, a good portion of the city is pretty much open. I think a lot of that has to do with the stages of COVID reopening.
Right.
So not only did we had curfew up until like a day ago.
Yeah.
And now that they're like, all right, we got to reopen everything. I think this is like, hey, this is a good way to distract people, get people kind of off the protest and whatnot.
Right.
And things have subsided, but even before I left, we were going to multiple fire calls. I mean, some were legit, some weren't.
Right.
But it was back to like structured houses being on fire as opposed to
businesses getting burnt.
How many mom and pop shops versus fucking like these big commercial fucking places?
There were a decent amount, and I think that's where like things got kind of fucked up, because it's like a lot of these people, they're not going to be able to get all their insurance money back because it's considered an act of terror. So you're not going to even be able to open your business back up. I mean, like they were talking about fires going up for the simple fact of people trying to at least get money for the business, because they're not going to be able to replace any of the shit that got looted.
Right.
So I mean, the money for the building, so I could at least start somewhere.
So some might be burning their own shit after they got fucking looted.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a goddamn mess.
So
but yeah, did you send me that video, that downtown one, or did I send that to you? The guy on the dirt bike had a GoPro and he just went all up and down downtown.
That's pretty crazy.
It's that, like, I've been able, it's been a week or so. I've emotionally distanced myself from the shit, but that was heartbreaking to me, man. Because I'm down in Nashville, but I mean that's still my city, I love that fucking place. Lopez, how much did I want to show you around Nashville if you ever visit? You know what
right.
I'm saying? So, like, I was showing you all the shit. I'm fucking proud to show it off, and it was heartbreaking to see it fucking trash like that.
It's a trip, because it's rare to hear an emotional side of fucking Kowalczyk. I don't think that's a side that I've heard very often. And even people that had listened to the pod, they could hear it, like, the emotions coming out, dude. Because I mean, that's your home. Did they get? Now, here's my biggest thing. I'm not a Chicagoan or anything, but I love the fucking food. So please tell me that Maxwell Street is still good.
I mean, there's so many of them. Like
Jim's Original on Union.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's still there. I'm sure that would have been like front page,
Okay.
Yeah.
Look how
Because
fucked up
I mean,
this-
that's yeah.
Protect that at all fucking costs.
The Portillo's, how the Portillo's doing?
Portillos.
So the night before, I was I was up drinking with Dimitri, just listening to the scanner. Like, I'm gonna get called any minute. Let me finish this beer.
Right.
So it's definitely unnerving because like I'm there to do a job, but at the same time, I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. Somebody fucking bust me ahead of the bottle, and even between runs, they're like, "Hey, carry something on you. If you don't have a gun, get like a fucking mallet or something, in case they try doing shit with the rig." And I'm just like, "Of course, I have to drive today. Like this sucks." So like, I have to actually stay in the rig all the time if it's not a fire.
So
yeah,
that was like, I'm all for protesting shit. Like, do whatever you want. It's your right. Like, as long as like you're not doing shit, you know, to fuck with anybody else, and who gives a shit? I mean, like, that's your right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
I got a quick question for you, Marcus. So I was reading an article here in Texas regarding Army, EMS, and firefighters. Now, so currently, you guys can't carry anything, any kind of firearms for protection at all?
No, not at all. No.
Even though you have a concealed carry, Illinois concealed carry.
Yeah, I legally own and all that stuff.
However,
I don't bring my gun to work, you know?
Right.
Got it.
So, there's been other sketchy shit way separated from this where, like,
you would want that
I'm
on
trying
the
to do my
side?
fucking job. I'm like, I'm here to help people, not fucking oppress you.
Right. I mean, it's not like you're turning the hoses on them, you know.
No, that was something
style.
Damn. I had to get anything involved in that, like, I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, okay, my safety is in danger. I'm not fucking doing it. Like, this is ridiculous. But we didn't really do anything with the coppers. Like, we did our own thing. They did their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess what he was saying, there's an article they're trying to push through in Texas where first responders are allowed to carry. And what's your opinion on that one?
I mean, I'd be fucking down with that. But
right.
My only issue is a lot of times when we walk in the morning, I mean, our shift change work is between 5:30 and 6:30, depending on what we're at.
Right.
We get fires as we're coming in, and a lot of times you're fucking rushing. You got your piece on you. You don't want to be in no hot fire with your piece.
Right.
True.
So like, yeah.
So there are other rational things to think about when you're talking about arming firefighters or letting them legally carry.
I'm okay with that, but from the standpoint of just self-preservation, life preservation, if you see something outside of that, like, that's none of your fucking business.
Right.
Right.
You know what? I mean, we'll arm the fucking teachers in a heartbeat right now in schools, but we won't arm our fucking first responders who are in the thick of shit. You know.
Well, I find it, man. That's crazy that you're in the fucking hood, right? Like, you're in the hood doing this shit, and no one was fucking with you, but motherfuckers working in a world-class city downtown in the skyscrapers are the ones, you know. That's where some shit's fucking happening to them.
So the next couple of days that ensued, after Sunday, so like I got relieved. I fucking hightailed home so I could go to sleep.
Yeah.
They said some of the other rigs they started to mess with, unfortunately.
Really?
So like, me personally, that's what I saw. But what other people were saying, like, oh, they had to like tackle some dudes for trying to run away with a hose. Like, what?
What are you doing? What are you gonna do with a fucking hose? What are you doing?
They're gonna make the world's longest.
Leads me to believe it was some fucking jagoff kids that just thought it would be funny. Because kids out, there's no fucking kids in school.
Right.
Like, I could have saw myself doing something like that at 16.
Now
I might have been there with you.
Maybe not trying to destroy anything like on the rig, but just being like, oh, look at
I got this motherfucker's hose.
I got a question for you. In the area where you work with, is it diverse?
No. So Roseland is predominantly black. Pullman is mixed. Pullman's like the historic area of Chicago.
Okay.
I'm not really going to that, but it's that's like a different neighborhood. Like you don't really see
So
too many
diversity
neighborhoods
in the looters, was it a diverse crowd or was it predominantly one over another? Without saying which one over the other.
It was predominantly one more so than the other.
Okay.
But that's just who's in the neighborhood you're in.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I heard of other places, you know, just mixed people because that's the neighborhood that the fucking Target or whatever, the Walmart or
Yeah.
was in.
They hit that Walmart down there pretty bad?
They tried to, but they put barricades and shit in front of the windows. So the Walmart on what is that, Doty Road?
Yeah.
Doty, like 111th.
Yep.
Were there members of the Boogaloo there by any chance?
What's it?
Was there anybody from the Boogaloo movement there by any chance?
The Boogaloo movement. Jesus Christ.
Well, my understanding is it's the Boogaloo movement.
How are we doing on time? Are we shifting to the Boogaloo question already?
Well, I'm at 21 minutes right now, and I am on a quick. I'm on
a tight schedule. I get it. All right. Well, let's wrap with Marcus. We'll wrap like basically the city was on fucking fire. You were running your ass off, and shit was burning hot for over 12 fucking hours straight. But
yeah, it was just
somewhat calmed down now.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, every so like listen to the scanner and stuff. I have noticed there's more fires, so people definitely are setting stuff. But I think a lot of those fires that are being set right now are from like fucked over mom and pop shops that are just trying to get something for their business.
Right.
I mean, I might be a weird speculation, but it's just talking to people about how the insurance works with a lot of that stuff. Like they're screwed.
Yeah, that's fucked.
So
and I think the cities, when this is all said and done, are going to be nice and fucked. I don't think. I mean, something's going to change. You had 9/11. Where were you before and after 9/11? You're going to have before and after 2020, and I think the cities are going to suffer. And it's how far does it spread? Does it spread to the suburbs? Do we get to the Boogaloo? I guess if we're going to get kind of lighthearted, but also kind of serious.
What the fuck is the Boogaloo?
The Boogaloo is just a stupid, fun word from Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. Boogaloo is just a term for the breakdown, like what's that? The balkanization, civil war, race war.
But I saw that it was a movement. I mean, I saw.
Oh, yeah, CNN and Fox
about it.
They finally heard the word, so they're like, "Well, it seems to me that the Boogaloo movement is a combination of, you know, fuck all that. I'm talking about Civil War. The Civil War is coming, and here comes the Civil War if this shit spreads out of the cities. If it's contained in the cities, whatever, let them burn. I'm going to be out in the country. But the question we have to the listeners is, do you stay and fight in the Civil War? Or if you use your brain and you see that this country is fucking gigantic and you could disappear easily out west somewhere, do you relocate out west? Do you miss the whole fucking thing and let the idiots fucking kill each other?
And with that question pending, we're going to go to our Spike Lee Hunt moment.
Oh, shit.
Let's see what we got. I've got a 39-second clip or a 1 minute and 52-second clip. You choose.
Do the short one.
All right. It looked like he's in his car, so I don't know what the fuck it's about, but let's hear it.
I wonder what it's about.
Said, Daddy, when you're coming home, the first thing that came to his mind, I'm already there.
What the fuck?
Take a look around.
All right, I can't do this.
Sunshine in your hair, I'm the shadow on the ground.
Okay, so that was...
I'm going to say that was really needed. So thank you, Angry Black Man, Spike Lee Hunt. Thank you for that.
And, you know...
Holy shit.
That was definitely a good segue into getting out of that fucking mentality of bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, so lighthearted. Okay, probably not going to descend into Civil War. But in case it does, Lopez, what's your first instinct? Are you fighting in the streets? Or are you getting out of Dodge?
I'm going to the Kowalczyk country compound. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm staying there. And honestly, dude, will it be a race war or will it be a war against the government?
It's gonna. I don't know. I don't know how it fucking breaks down. Does it break down by race? Does it break down by region of country? I don't think it'll be against the government. I think it's gonna be groups of fucking people. My first instinct is to fight. My first instinct as a soldier, that's just in me. Fucking pick this motherfucker up and get the fucking work. That's my initial instinct. My instincts aren't always great.
Right.
And I talked to my one buddy who's prepared for something like this. And I said, okay, do we get Dana? Or I said, how does this play out? Do we get Dana out to the safe space and then return to the cities to fucking fight the Boogaloo? And he tells me, and he's more ready than me, more crazy than me. And he says, man, I'm staying out there. Let the idiots fucking kill each other, run out of food, starve, and kill each other more. And then in a decade or so, we can come back in and fucking pick up the pieces. So my even crazier friend is talking about disappearing and letting the whole fucking thing play out.
Damn. What say you, Marcus?
Be a hard one.
See?
It depends on what the fight is, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not enough. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
See, I mean, I'm all about what if there's a military coup, for example? Let's say a coup happens and they oust fucking old Trump.
There's a soft one going on right now, actually.
And let's say General Mattis takes over. I'm gonna have to take General Mattis's bag, bro.
Yeah.
I got his back. Because, I mean, we got old Trump hiding in a bunker during a fucking protest. I mean, how much balls does he really have?
Ooh, this has been bad from old
You're
Trump.
supposed to be a leader. You gotta say something, do something.
Yep.
United.
And hey, we all know, I'm pretty sure we all know where I'm at, but F. Big fucking red F on this test. Ooh, Jesus.
Got a question.
But no, I get what Marcus is saying. I guess how it breaks down because I mean, I don't
be smart about it. I mean, being 20 years old, you'd probably be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. But now,
yeah.
well, I'm a little bit smarter than when I was 20. So you gotta like look at it and see what the fuck's going on with it. You don't just go firing.
Don't just start killing. Don't just start killing people. Jesus Christ.
Be fucking smart. That's all.
So we had some input from a listener.
Right.
And so he sent the pretty interesting fucking questions. I had no idea that this even occurred. But he says, make sure y'all tell us what you think about your girl, Nancy P. Pelosi, and friends, and their cringe-ass kneeling moment of silence yesterday. What is he talking about?
They all put on them like African scarves and then kneeled. And, I mean, he said it right there, the cringe moment.
I think it was supposed to be some thing of solidarity.
Yeah. They tried to show solidarity with the protesters, and they put on some African garb and took a knee.
So they basically Cinco de Mayo this shit, where people put on the Mexican rugs and a sombrero.
See.
To show their support.
They put on their dashiki scarves and yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you want an opinion, I think it's fucking propaganda.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I think
I don't think they give a shit.
Do you think that the black folk are thinking that this is a positive thing that occurred, or are they?
I don't know. I haven't asked them. I mean, sure, I have friends, but I have friends that are like, "Shit's crazy, right?" And I'm like, well, "What are you doing?" They're like, "I'm at home, trying to stay home."
Yeah.
You know, I guess we'll leave that out to the black listeners out there. What do y'all think?
We do have them, believe it or not. I haven't chased them all away yet.
Not yet. I think
they like me. Dude, the blacks like me. That's, yeah. Come on.
All right. And then he said, what are y'all thoughts on the protesters' great idea of defunding the police? That's fucking, yeah.
They
Have
should
at it.
not be militarized.
Right. That's a fucking strong point.
Yeah. Take the money you're gonna do with that and put it towards education.
I agree.
So why is that a bad thing? Like, at the end of the day, regardless of it being a racial thing, officers are in the position of power. They have firearms. They should be trained to the point of being able to control themselves, even when things and emotions are high. They're the ones.
You're preaching to the choir. They fucking shove that rules of engagement shit in our fucking brain hard over there. You can't just pop off, you know.
I wish.
Yeah, regardless. I mean, so if you can't do that, then you should not be an officer.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, you shouldn't. You're not judge, jury, and executioner. I'm not saying you can't defend yourself. If you are literally in a life and death situation, you have to defend yourself.
Right. But the question of,
I don't care who it is, and if that fucking cop's trying to kill you and they might be in the wrong, you fucking kill that cop. Or if he was in the wrong, you defended yourself.
Right.
Right.
But
the question of defunding
is supposed to be of sound body, mind, all that good shit.
Well, where do you see the call now is to disband police department. Minneapolis talking about disbanding.
Right.
My thing,
I'm gonna answer that. I really don't know.
If it works out, if you find some goddamn miracle cure to all the problem, and you release kumbaya on Earth, I'll suck a protester's dick. If we get rid of the cops and it happens to work out, holy shit, that's great. But I'm willing to bet a lot of money that that's not going to be the case. The cities are going to burn.
It be more intensive.
Yeah. The training you said?
The training for officers should be more intensive.
Right.
Where they should have more impulsive moves for a civilian is one thing. An impulsive move for an officer is a completely. You're a trained professional. You should act as such. You should not let your emotions get the best of you. Like I said, I'm not saying that they shouldn't defend themselves if it's truly that, but at the end of the day, you are the trained professional. You should act as such.
so
Same with you can't go in a fucking fire and help people. Get the fuck out, get a new job.
Right. And what's funny is the training that we took over there, before we went over there, fucking honestly, if we pretty much had fucking carte blanche to shoot any motherfucker that had a cell phone around us, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Because we were being told, hey, they're using cell phones as a fucking trigger. You know what I'm saying?
We're being told that because they're blowing up IEDs with cell phones.
Right. But we also had to fucking have common fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it seems like it's lacking. I'm not against cops, but I don't call cops. That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
So are three sane, rational people here saying don't disband police departments?
I'm
just
saying
better training.
Better training, I think. And honestly, if they want the fucking do what the Army does with recruiters. Army sends recruiters that reflect the area that they're recruiting in. You want to stop this racial shit? Okay, send black cops into the fucking black areas. All right.
Well, you do get a lot of that, and you get a lot of people screaming Uncle Tom in their face, and it's like right then and there, they're all like, "Fuck you! I'm just trying to do my job."
Exactly. And it's so to me, it's become more of a not a racial thing, but more of a police brutality thing. These police officers are just taking that fucking badge. They were probably punked in school, and now they have a little bit of authority, and they want to be fucking Captain Save-A-Ho. They're the type of motherfuckers that will be soldiers and pump all this fucking shit like, oh, I'm gonna be a fucking killer, blah blah blah. And then when the shit hits the fan, they run like bitches. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna be metal chasers. So definitely education. And why is it the fucking gun the first thing they reach for?
Yeah, it should be
Is it?
steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rules of engagement, escalation of force.
Yeah.
I talked to a couple of people I know that are coppers, and they're like, "Oh no, you do this first, because if they're 10 feet away, what are you gonna do? Like shoot them with the taser if they got a knife, or are you gonna shoot them with a gun?" Like they're told, you put people down as quick as you can, and then assess it afterwards.
Wow.
Like that, but that was from one department. That wasn't even from Chicago. That was
Really?
from outside burb department. It's like that's what my training was, and I'm like, really? Like you don't have any sort of de-escalation. Like it's from 0 to 60 in the blink of an eye. It's like that's not right either, especially if somebody's mentally fucked up in the head. They don't deserve to die. You have a lot of fucking crazy people out there. It fucking happens. At the end of the day, you should look out for the person next to you. And then if they prove that they're just a piece of shit and they're trying to kill you for whatever, then sure, defend yourself. But if somebody's just literally out of their damn head, like you shouldn't have to have a death sentence. That's
Right.
bullshit.
No due process. Dude, one thing,
Speaker, hey, how we doing on time?
I got about 3 minutes left. So check it out. One of the things I heard was fucking start having the police retirement fund pay for this shit of these fucking police brutalities and shit like that, and watch how quick fools will start snitching on each other because they want to save their fucking money.
It's a great idea. It wouldn't come out of the taxpayers' money.
Exactly.
People would be a little bit more thinking about the future as opposed to the here and now.
Yep.
Instead of, oh, fuck this motherfucker, he's a scumbag anyways. It's like, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna say, Kowalczyk? Looks like you have something.
Well, I was speaking of, I don't know what the fuck we were speaking of, but just chaos and no due process.
Mhm.
My old neighborhood, Marcus's current neighborhood, made the cover of fucking Newsweek fucking online magazine.
Oh shit.
I don't know if you checked that out, but this to me, this is where all this fucking shit leads. And we had vigilantes in the neighborhood
Right.
wandering around with baseball bats straight down Halstead Street. And from what I heard from Marcus, fucking a few people up.
Yeah, they were trying
indiscriminately.
to, so a lot of people are just grouping protesters with rioters and looters. And I'm not going to say that there aren't people actually doing that shit and destroying shit. Yes, there are. You get fucking mob action. Shit like that's going to pop off. That's common sense.
Yeah.
Here's a history of it. I'm not going to go like the whole thing. That's a long story. But the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. A lot of it's going to be sticking around, especially if you grew up in this neighborhood for over 100 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And we still are. I mean, it's the kind of neighborhood it is. So there were coppers just watching a lot of the shit idly go by as people were getting chased down in the streets. And it's like, motherfucker, these people lived in this neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're going to get these protesters out. It's like 500,000 protesters. They're fucking, just because they were black and they lived on the other side of Bridgeport, they couldn't walk through because they're turning into a fucking race war.
God damn.
And it's
Dude,
like
it turns some Bronx Tale shit, like you called it. You're out there watching Bronx Tale Bridgeport edition.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get some angry fucking wops. You're gonna have some daggone black fucking shit go down.
Dude.
Like,
Hey, y'all. I hate to cut it short here, but it is that time. I have to get my ass back to work. Marcus, our resident fucking hero, thank you for being here.
And he just proved it again to everybody. He's a goddamn hero. He's out there saving Chicago from burning to the ground. Once again, heroic acts from Marcus.
Fucking A. Hey, y'all see Marcus on the streets? Buy this man a beer.
Give him a fucking
beer.
beer.
Don't call me a hero.
Hey, you know what's funny is that the term has now moved over to fucking it seems like it's shifting. It started with the doctors and nurses, went to the firefighters, now it's the cops. Who's next?
Heroes?
The National Guard. They're gonna be next.
Anyway, we up against it.
Do what now?
We up against it right now, time-wise? Time to wrap it up?
Yeah, we got about 1 minute left.
All right. So what did we learn today? Anything?
We learned that this is a good fucking
Still pretty
trailer.
Yeah, this works out. We all need to get together in person one of these days.
Oh yeah. You know,
But,
as long as it's in Texas, it's got to be in Texas
for the next little while.
Yeah, yeah. All right, y'all. Well, thank you all for listening to us over here on this motherfucking On the Gunline midweek memo. Heroic hero. What is it?
Hero half hour with Marcus, the Chicago fireman.
Yes, sir. And Marcus, once again, thanks for being here, brother. You know, it's always a joy having you here. Can't wait to have you on again.
Thanks for having
Also,
me.
this weekend, is it this weekend? We got our Angry Black Man coming in?
No, that's going to be next weekend. It's going to be on
19th.
Juneteenth.
Okay.
So
Juneteenth. And hey, thank you, Hunt, for today's Angry Black Man. That was fucking great. We all needed that.
We did need that fucking moment of clarity between us. All right, y'all. It's been a pleasure. Go ahead and wrap it up.
Rounds complete and a mission. Gunline out.
Bye, motherfuckers.
Don't do duck face, fag.